Hello and welcome to Scarlet Serpent readings. Thank you so much for joining me for today's timeless pick a card reading where we will be looking at a Dormant Starseed gift. So potentially psychic abilities, gifts that originate from another star system. So however you resonate with on that front, but definitely more of a celestial type of ability that's still waiting to fully blossom in your life. So we have 3 different piles. I'm going to jump right into it. We have pile 1, pile 2, and then pile 3. So if you need more time to meditate on the piles, the timestamps are always in the description, so you could click on that when you're ready, and I will meet you at your reading. Hi pile 1, if you chose the 9th house, this is going to be your reading on what are your starseed gifts, specifically your dormant starseed gifts and abilities. And of course I want to thank all of you who are subscribed. I really appreciate your support and for your patience, because I think it feels like it's been a long time since I did a pick a card for some reason. So I just mentioned that because there's like a time distortion, like a time dilation, and what I'm getting, I mean, the 9th house isn't really, it's about expansion, mostly spiritual expansion, and the desire to explore and create and observe. But with the black hole here, there's this kind of like, and I guess it's a normal thing too in a way, right, where you could distort reality based on how much focus you have, but there's like a black hole energy that you have where yeah, you could play with the rules of reality. And I think that's, while I mean you could say that it's an ability of that anyone kind of has, but I think your awareness of it and using it as a tool to kind of accomplish things that wouldn't be possible. It's kind of like, I don't know, you could pass time by being extra busy, but at the same time it's like time opens up for you. It's more forgiving when you are expanding. Definitely there's astral travel here, but since it's dormant, I think I guess for most of this reading, but especially for you, you haven't really, if astral travel is something you've done or you've been considering doing, I'd say consider how you could expand on that. Consider what else can you do with astral traveling, and how can you bring it's like, if you wanted to do some creative venture, if you wanted to draw something, maybe instead of just doodling, I mean you could also channel doodling, stuff like that, but if you were to deliberately astral travel first and then bring something back, it's like after a meditation you could tap into something different, and you could play with this, like have a different notebook or a different page, so you have one page for let's say if you wanted to write a poem, for example, and you write your poem, you just take your time on that, and then later in the day or in that same sitting you could deliberately just imagine yourself entering a black hole, teleporting to like your star system, your starseed planet, and retrieving information from there. So it's kind of like playing with the idea of writing in different environments, or I don't know why I keep saying writing, but creating from different vantage points, if you will. So like I don't know, you want to do something creative and you could imagine yourself making it on top of a mountain, like be there, try and go there physically. Well, it's like taking a portal and imagining yourself going there and focusing until you can actually feel a change and seeing what that environment has to input, like how that environment can shape your creation in a way. And then it says, I have another oracle, I should have told you, I guess. It says manifestation blessings for progress. I didn't even look at this card, but I guess that's why I keep saying the manifestation. There's something about, if you've had trouble manifestation or with manifestation or making your reality, I think you might be trying to make it in a place that isn't conducive to. It's like you're trying to channel from a place that's very noisy. It's like trying to look at stars when there's a lot of light pollution, so to speak. So something like that, I'd be mindful of this portal that you make energetically when you're focusing on anything. And you could play with even mundane activities. It's like if you were to ask your spirit guide for a parking space, just as you usually do, I don't know, it's like there's a lot of experimentation with this pile. Experiment with spiritual stuff, and I think you'll find surprising things. So let's look at the tarot, and I guess just look at what other dormant spiritual gifts what other dormant starseed gifts you have lying within you for pile 1. King of Coins. So, I mean, that goes with the manifestation card. But it's really bringing down something from another realm, and definitely from another realm. I think there's, if you were to shift your focus specifically on not just creating, not just channeling, but from where you're channeling, you might find that some like star systems are more open to giving you that lending you that energy to create than others. All right, I have 4 cards. The Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, there's it's not luck. It's like, it seems like luck from this point of view, but you could kind of, I was going to say regulate the wheel, I was going to say manipulate the wheel, but notice a pattern where like certain wheels perform differently under different physical conditions. Like the rain, there's specific tires for that, there's specific tires for, it's like rollerblading. It's kind of annoying when you rollerblade and there's a bunch of little concrete blocks, because you feel the bumps, and it's like you could still get to where you want to go, but you won't glide the same way. And what I'm saying is, especially since I see the King of Coins, your ability, it's not just like to manifest, and I don't want it to seem because I don't know, the word manifest is thrown around a lot, and it's like, oh, you manifest, and it's more of something, creating something physically that you haven't done to this level yet, and you have the potential to do it. I think once you notice not just the ease in which you physically create something that is very impactful and brings more consciousness to whatever, or to whomever views your creation, but it's like if you had an idea in your mind, like an image you wanted to make, and then you started to draw it, but the detail wasn't quite there. I think by putting your energy somewhere else in a different, and you have to play with it, so you have to find like what environment it is. It's kind of like doing a meditation where you go to different realms, especially for shamans here. You go to the upper world, middle world, lower world, and you notice that there's one particular realm that you really work with very easily. And then not just to meditate there, but actually go there before you make something and play with that. So we have that with the Wheel of Fortune. And look at that. I didn't even notice, but you'll notice that the Capricorn is literally carrying the Wheel of Fortune. I said the Capricorn, so maybe you're drawn to pile 3, but this King of Coins is carrying the Wheel of Fortune on his head and using it to, it's like he's forcing a reality. He's deliberately shifting his environment. There's really strong world building, there we go, like world building energy that you have. And even if you are a creator of some kind, I think just the depth, the level of detail that you have, and it's like through that detail where you know, like reruns, like playthroughs, like you watch a movie more than once, there's kind of additional depth that you have. And it's almost like that wheel is spinning within the mind of the person viewing or experiencing your creation. So as you know, with additional viewings, their perception and their experience with what you make can change. It's really cool, this energy you have. Then we have the King of Cups. So King of Coins, King of Cups here. Definitely empathic, but being able to see the origin of the emotions that are being brought to the surface by different people. And you might be able to see what sort of media influences the emotions of people too. So you can kind of, I mean, this is dormant, so I don't know if you notice hints of this, but you know what media influences this person's, or these people, or their emotional ship, if you will. And they have the Strength card. I think you're very much aware of the astral realm. And I don't know, with Strength and the Wheel of Fortune, there's like, you could manipulate, yeah, like manipulate the opposite reality of where you focus. So if it's kind of like, I'm seeing things, but I can't describe what I'm seeing in a way, because it's like, if you wanted the weather to change, for example, instead of focusing on, I want this cloud to move or whatever, you just kind of recognize the other dimension of the cloud, and then you could play with that dimension and then move the cloud in a way. I know this sounds strange, but I don't know how many of you kind of can resonate with, you see the day as a reflection of how you feel. So if you wake up confused and you see it's just cloudy and you're not really focused that day, there's this, it's kind of like the outside world is letting you know that this is what's inside you. I think that's normal to understand, but to really see that as a place of, as an opportunity to change that, you know, this is recognizing the power you have on the outside world. Everyone's like, or people can say, you can't really control the exterior, but I'm here to tell you that you can change physical reality, and that's part of your dormant, you know, starseed ability. And I think that was something that was more apparent in your star system in the past, where you could definitely easily make grass change colors and split things apart and teleport. That was very easy. Here it just takes longer sometimes, depending on what it is. But once you realize your connection with the exterior world and the people around you, it's like a collaboration with your spirit team to make things happen. But when it's for the good of all, it's, you know, you have more support as opposed to just putting yourself in a good situation. I hope that makes sense, because I know it's a bit out there, but I guess it should be, because it's a starseed reading. So hopefully this reading was helpful. Please let me know. I might have like a part 2 to this. I'm kind of thinking about where else I could take this reading, but for now, I hope you enjoyed the reading. Please let me know in the comments. Thank you for your support, and I hope to see you in the next reading. Take care. Hi, Pile 2. If you chose the Ascendant card, this is going to be you're reading what is your Dormant Starseed gift, or gifts, I should say, with the Ascendant card. And this pile had an extra Celestial card with Gemini, so you might have significant Gemini placements. That could be your Ascendant for some of you. If you see the two different realities there, it could be someone who feels bigger just through your intellect and through your description of your experience vocally or in some way, just your expression. And you could be someone who, I think part of what's dormant is, instead of having the twins argue, they come together and they form one voice. So if you find that to be the case, where there's like your shadow self and you're kind of putting yourself into different groups, so there's my higher self. Yeah, it's like I want to get a message from my higher self, and then there's my shadow and my this version and that version, and it's when you see those different parts of you as one. It's kind of like the voice gets stronger and you become bigger as you continue to ascend and grow wiser or more in tune with yourself, that you slowly stop separating these versions of you. And I think there's growth in that. But I also have this oracle card. It says protection for the vulnerable heart. I think this is Archangel Michael, but it looks like the heart is expressing itself. So and I'm seeing wings here. Wings. So expansion, flight. I don't know if you get triggered in a positive way by wind. Like there's something about the breeze really reminds you of. Did you feel it? Reminds you of kind of like your star system, and you could resonate with being an angel or a bird or flying. Like flying feels very natural to you. And I think it's through flying that something opens up. I don't know, there's like, it could be a hobby that you enjoy or that you might not know you enjoy yet. So if you had considered bungee jumping or skydiving, there's something that opens your heart that you haven't really recognized yet. And it's through, I think you'll get there eventually. It's like a natural progression to, oh, there's this whole other universe within me that I didn't know needed to come out, and it will. So let's look at the tarot and see what are your dormant starseed gifts. You have the Ace of Cups. Okay, so that's right away that that there's something in your heart center that needs to come out. And I'm seeing like the twin snakes. What do you call it? You know, the symbol for the hospital, the two snakes, and is it the caduceus? I think it's something like that. But anyway, we see the dove going into the heart. Kind of that level of consciousness. That's the ascendant. That's that level of understanding and union with, I guess, the divine, with your higher self. And at that point, you won't really consider those two aspects of you separate. And it's through that expansion, that level of consciousness, that your world kind of gets colored the way you see it, which is beauty. It's through beauty. There's the eyes of beauty, like the beauty way I'm seeing. So it might be a little cliche to say, but I definitely would consider your love to be your dormant gift, and it's a gift that you give to others. But it's not just like the concept of love, I guess, could be, it's like, oh, it's just love, but it's like you could use that power, that energy of love to really move mountains. We have the Emperor here, so there's almost an ownership, a structure to that energy in your heart center of love, and that's it's kind of like creating a structure out of something that feels very wild. And I'm getting that with the Ascendant, where you're bringing a very wild, free energy, and you're putting it in line. You're giving it structure with the stairs too. So I don't know if you could see. Here we go. I really, really like this Emperor card. I usually don't like the Emperor energy, even though I'm all over it. I mean, it's really my energy, but I don't. There's like I guess I'm not gonna get to that, but there's two rams, two of the Aries skulls here, and there's usually just one in most. Well, not really, but I usually only see one, and there's two. So there's a balancing out going on. I think for some of you don't realize how much of an influence you have on others. I'm getting a sense of like the Justice energy, or King or Queen of Swords, but that's within you, so you're seeing different aspects, different personalities of yourself as energies that need to be balanced constantly. And I think that in itself is a gift, is recognizing the imbalances that you have energetically and how that affects the outside world. We have a lot of fire here in the cards, and that I don't know, I always see as air and fire as energies that build off of each other. So we have the Eight of Wands, which is Mercury communication, that goes well with Gemini, I think. So I just saw 2222, and I saw 2222 earlier for some reason. I don't remember what it was. Let's see. I just want to see. I mean, you could see the beauty in a lot of different things. I don't know, I'm just being drawn to that again. And you might find inspiration you might find insights in unexpected places. Like, a lot of people say, you know, to go to a garden to meditate, or to just be with nature, connect with nature. But I think, like, you could be someone who could connect in the same way in a parking lot, or in like a bad neighborhood. Like, there's a fascination that you have with that, and you could see yourself in everything, and that just allows you to connect with a lot of people, with anyone. As you expand, as you have that level of consciousness, this ascended, Ace of, I don't know why I'm seeing the consciousness so much. Like, the bird really has my attention there as a new way of thinking. And then we have the bird, and then we had the wings with Gemini that I kept sorry about that, kept referencing. So there's a really strong connection with birds, with winged energy. You may not, I mean, you may know that you have a connection to it, but I don't think, not yet. This is why it's dormant, is that you could actively work with this energy in a way you haven't done yet. Maybe you could channel birds, or do it through writing. Then we have the Empress. So you have the Emperor and the Empress. Right? There's the two sides again. There's this balancing of your inner yin and yang. And it's really about giving both of these attention. They balance each other out. So I don't know. It seems, I don't know. if it might sound kind of boring, like how is this a gift? Recognizing it's about recognition, I guess, the ability to detect. And this is like as above, so below. Like within, if you could detect that energy within you, if you can balance that within you, you experience a more balanced and peaceful world on the outside. And so, in a lot of ways, you could shift these energies as you want. Which stairway will you take? You know, and is it fixed? Can the stairs kind of intersect at one point, kind of cross paths to the other side? I did say garden, and there's kind of this garden here, so maybe you could do sort of like flower healing. That's kind of specific, but yeah, flower healing specifically for the heart chakra. If it's blocked, or you want to tap into that love, divine love energy, there's really powerful potential that you have with your heart chakra. More so, I mean, again, I guess that could be said for most people, but you specifically, is that you gain a certain level of momentum and support when you really focus on the heart chakra. So I would definitely do some sort of healing or heart-centered meditation, and work with flowers for that. We have the Eight of Coins and the Queen of Swords. I told you about the Queen of Swords, though, yeah? This is definitely you, with the rainbow in the background. This is, I mean, you're both the Emperor and the Empress, but the Queen of Swords is your power, and I think, kind of forgot, I forget a lot of things I probably should remember, but I think I'm going to say it, that the heart chakra is air energy, that it's associated with air. In that case, that's part of your weapon too, is a balanced perspective of your divine loving energy, and realizing there's this recognition of its power and its ability to influence not the environment. I mean, that was kind of like last pile of the direct physical change. Yours is more of how it's like putting the rose colored glasses on and being okay through not just looking through that lens, but living it. It's kind of, you're forcing that reality into existence. And then we have the Eight of Cups, or Eight of Coins. So we have two eights, Eight of Wands, Eight of Coins. That could be like the infinite energy from the heart center to tapping into infinity, to create infinity. Because I do see the 8 in the card, like, right there. But it takes the Emperor to bring it, to give it structure. Otherwise, it's just the coins are all over the place and there's no purpose behind them. So don't be afraid of the Emperor. Don't be afraid of this restriction that you might have to face when you want to just create endlessly. It's kind of like putting things in a drawer or in a cabinet, that there's a place for each color, and that's how you could utilize each color to its fullest potential, especially with the 8 of wands being there too. Each wand is a different color, but if you could find the right place for each wand, that's where you could get the most out of each color. I don't know if that makes sense. I think it does, but this is referencing your energy, your different desires to do different things. Like, well, I have the desire to do this at this point, so let me direct that in that direction. At this time, you'll start to find a schedule for yourself, and not just your schedule now as it is, but a schedule that your energy demands, that your soul demands. And you're like, instead of following just the routine of, you know, the outside world, you're like, let me see what my you know, yin and yang have to say. What does my emperor and empress have to say? I don't remember if there was a reading, the last reading I did, there's one pile that had the emperor and empress in there too. So I don't know if, let me know in the comments if that was, if you came from that reading or you remember it. But they both have a say in what you do during the day, and when they come together, that's when like the whole world opens up again. So hopefully you found this reading enjoyable and helpful. Please let me know in the comments. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you in the next reading. Take care. Hi, pile 3. If you chose the Capricorn card, this is going to be your reading on your Dormant Starseed gifts. It kind of looks like a spaceship, doesn't it? Like, yeah, a spaceship. An abduction, that's what I was going to say. But you're strongly guided by Saturn. You might have, I mean, of course, significant Capricorn placements, significant Saturn influence. And it's through focus where you gain clarity as to your own path. That might have been something that you've struggled with in your journey, is the energetic cords of other people trying to tug you in this direction and that direction. And I say that because there's the freeing the threads of connection card here, and then this card here says like finding a home within yourself, finding your own thread and cutting the cords. And I think, I don't know, for some of you maybe like professional cord cutters or something like that, or Reiki, but with a specialty in detaching those energies. So there's a lot of focus that you have that you might not have tapped into to its fullest. And I think for a lot of you, you have the ability to make others more focused on what they actually want to. And I was just thinking, like, they should, if you've had friends or strangers or people come to you and you just by your presence or your conversation, and then they change your life path and they end up where they wanted to be, I think you should charge them for it. If it happens a lot, I don't know how, but it's like I guess guidance counselor, but I mean that's the thing. But yeah, I don't know if this, leave in the comments if that happens to you as much as it does to me, where like talk to someone's like, hey, why don't you just do this? Like, no, I can't. And then they end up in another state living the life. I'm like, it's not selfish, it's just weird that how often that happens. We have the Four of Cups here. It's like you're giving yourself to other people. I don't know, there's this it's like your light helps others see, but I think now's that time to direct it back at you. We have the Nine of Swords, and all the swords are stacked on each other with Mars and Gemini energy. So there's a connection between this pile and the last one with Gemini, because there is kind of that, I had mentioned this pile and that pile. So I don't know, for some of you, of course, not everyone. And this Nine of Swords might just be what I just mentioned, of like, why is everyone getting ahead of me? Why is that happening? We have the Nine of Cups too, so 2 nines. And that might be because you're lending your energy to other people, and I'm only like, I understand this pile because for a few reasons. I won't get into them, I guess, but yeah, especially with the Saturn. My house is ruled by Saturn. We have Chariot. And what I'm just getting is that you have to focus on yourself to move forward as fast as you would like. And if it feels slow, it's literally because of the cords from other people that are latched onto you because you're so bright, in terms of your energy. So we have what? Sorry. There's a glitch, I guess. Yeah, 2 9 of Cups in this deck. I guess it's just for you, but that's wild that it came out in this reading. So this is big. This is here. I'm just gonna give this pile this card. You can take it. I'm just gonna keep it's. I didn't even know there were 2 9 of Cups in this deck. Not anymore, but 9 of Cups is like your creating your home within yourself, and that's why I'm seeing this as like. Usually the 4 of Cups is a different meaning, but here it just feels like you're giving way too much away. You're giving way too much away, and I think your Dormant Starseed gift is your light, and having a newfound recognition of your light and seeing it as exceedingly valuable. Like, I don't think you've fully understood just how precious your wisdom and your presence and your emotional currency is in unlocking things for other people. And the reason why, especially with this, it's like, why is everyone where they want to be? And you've seen people go through this journey, and you have the energy stored within you, but this is like the list of people who you've helped get to where they want to be, and you're still here, and you're like, what's going on? Like, this is not fair. And it's kind of the energy of Saturn. It might seem unfair, but it's asking you to focus on where you're going, your path. And these rings are just cutting out the outside. Like, all right, that's enough. It's time to be selfish. What I notice here, though, is that there's stairs on both of these cards. So, like, this card's saying it's part of your journey. Your journey seems to be going towards Saturn, towards your own structure, towards understanding yourself. So, like, with this pile, you might have like a Saturn in the first house, or 12th, or 9th, or 8th. Okay, but we have the Chariot. I'll just show you the Chariot, but that's your movement. Yeah. With 4 of Cups, 9 of Cups, there's Cancer energy, and there's Pisces. So if you feel resentment sometimes towards people, I think in a way it's valid, and maybe that's something you would want to look into, is why am I feeling this way? Like, I think there's this subconscious part of you that's like, it's because I, in a way, unlocked their door for them, and they took my key and ran with it. And the key being your, as opposed to one of the other piles with chakras, this one is your solar plexus is extremely powerful. This looks like your solar plexus for some reason. Freeing the threads of your connection. Oh, yeah, I guess that makes sense, because I think that's where the energy latching they latch onto your solar plexus, and that's your power center. Excuse me. And yeah, this is really strong, actually. So I know a lot of you are like, might have been hoping for a spiritual gift or ability like that, but it's more broad for this pile. It's more of, you have the ability to do anything you want. Like any ability you want to unlock, you can do it. Whatever path you want to take, you have, like, it's like a currency. Like I said, there's a currency that you have, but you're giving it away freely, and people are just lining up to take it because they're seeing. It's like, when people see that there's a line for something to a restaurant, and like, that must be a good restaurant, let me go there, just to find out that they're giving away free food, and it's gourmet. It's like Michelin star, 8-course meal, 9-course meal, and it's free. And like, what is this? I'm gonna wait in line for that too. That might be, these swords are like a line getting to this. So investigate that and take care of your energy. Create those force fields, and I think you'll be shocked at how things change when you see your energy is valuable. Not even like a service that you give or guidance. It's, I think, your presence, just you sitting somewhere and people want to get next to you, like there's something going on, And then we have the 5 of Cups. I think that's how you feel. The 4 and 5 of Cups. It's like the colors leaking out, they're all empty. We have, I was going to say 2 5s, but no, it's just 4 or 5. And 5, it could be seen as a more difficult energy to deal with change and lessons to learn. We have the 2 of Cups underneath. This is kind of like pouring that focused emotional intelligence into yourself, and you'll see that the universe matches it, and it's like, wow, I didn't know I could have so much. I don't remember if Cancer is the Chariot, but that's just what I'm feeling right now, so we'll go with it. But I also think people will respect your boundaries once you put them up. You don't have to worry about that. And it's almost like the 2 of Cups at the bottom of the deck are what guide this chariot forward. It's like the chariots run out of gas. It's like the horses need water. And you're giving the water away to people who are not actually taking you anywhere. I don't know if it sounds like it, but I feel irritated in this reading. Like, I'm mad for you. Like, let's stop. I'm telling the other people to stop this. And I think this is where you'll find your power. You'll have no idea, like, just the level of respect people will have for you. And they'll still line up. They're willing to wait for their turn, and they're willing to wait for your presence. But now you've created a structure. It's more of a sanctuary. It's more of a holy temple that people take off their shoes and they only go there once a week, as opposed to like nonstop. And that's something that I think Saturn is helping you build, and Capricorn, building and fortifying your solar plexus. It's a recognition of an energy that you already have within you. So your Dormant Starseed gift is not the gift itself, it's the recognition of what's already there. And I also think the gift is in creating those boundaries, and it's a gift you give yourself, if that makes sense. But you have to make this gift, though. You have to protect it, and then it'll be second nature. You'll notice that you don't even need the walls after a while. You don't need to have the sword up defending and cutting cords anymore. People will just have a respect for your presence and for your energy, knowing just how valuable it is, so that they could find a way to their own journey, to their own desires, to their own life purpose. In a lot of ways is found through you. So hopefully you found this reading helpful. Please let me know in the comments, especially this pile. I'm kind of curious how you resonate with this. But thank you for your support. Like, subscribe if you haven't already, and I hope to see you in the next reading. Take care.